Colorado lands a huge offensive line signee in the transfer portal in Memphis. Offensive line transfer Xavier Hill, 6'4", 320, 2-year starter, all ACC or AAC honors in 2024. And he's played both guard and tackle. Matt, what are your thoughts on this signing?
I would love to tamper with Gage. He should be in Boulder.
Yeah.
This kid is a fucking stud. This kid's a stud. He's a great player. So if you're telling me that this is the right tackle and Seaton's the left tackle, the interior three need to get the shit together. And the interior three, I'm sure, is going to be Tyler Brown's going to be one of them, right? Because he's a returning starter. And then I'm sure Cash Cleveland has got the nod at center right now, right? And I don't know who the right guard's going to be. I saw that 2 of the freshman offensive linemen they brought in were both 380 pounds.
Big dudes, yeah. Old boy out of Nashville.
Did you see that? Like, these two weighed in at 380 each, and I'm like, God damn.
Yeah, I saw Brian Howell's report. I was like, holy moly.
Like, you better fucking get these boys on the step mill. Holy shit. Hey, thanks, Mike.
Shout out to Mike Bundy. Mike Bundy's the man. Appreciate you.
This cowboy ad's really turning the guys on in the chat. Fuck. You can only imagine how the women feel. But if you're telling me that we've got Jordan Seaton, who was 285 last year and is now clocking in at 325, and we got this big mean son bitch is going to go to the right side, I'm just begging for the interior three to get their shit together, because then I think you're going to have a really physical, ass-kicking offensive line. And then maybe, just maybe, Zane or the Atkins kid at tight end can actually be a weapon in the middle of the field.
I'm excited about him.
And block. You can look like 12 personnel with 2 tight ends and a scissor. Holy shit. So I'm just saying I'm excited about – I was excited about the offensive line changes last year, and they got better, of course, the 9-4 with cutting sacks in half, but they weren't good. Let's be real.
Yeah.
They sucked still up front. Like, they were awful the first year with Prime. They were average to below average last year, but they did show improvement. I think now with the personnel they have, especially with the coaching, with Dre and Gunner and George, I think that all 3 of them, plus Marshall Falk and everything else that's there, the competition with the defensive line, because the defensive line, I think personally, I haven't said this on the show yet, but I think the defense next year is going to be the best in the Big 12 and the reason they make the playoff. I think that defense is going to be unbelievably outstanding, and they're going to push the offense to just get better and better. I wouldn't be surprised if the defense slaughters the offense in the spring game and the defense slaughters the offense all fall, and people are like, well, the offense really looks like it's struggling. Nah, dog. Our defense is just real.
Man. Yeah, there you see Colorado's D-line. But, man.
They are fucking ruthlessly good up front, bro.
I'm excited.
They look like an SEC team.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen the well-off videos. Yeah, they look mean up front here, especially on the defensive side here. Offense, we just talked about. I think it's a huge addition, Matt, for their offensive line. And you think this kid's going to play tackle for CU? Because he's played both tackle and guard at Memphis.
I did cut about 20 lbs. Look, I got a neck and everything.
Hey, yeah, Matt, you look good. Hell yeah.
Try not to have a fucking heart attack at 43. Yeah, he's the right tackle. Look. I'm not saying he can't play left guard next to Jordan, but then who plays right tackle?
Yeah, exactly.
Like they're bringing him in because we've got a revolving door of people at right tackle, and they got to fix that shit. So I think that the opportunity, like if you look at the offensive line room, there's going to be guys that don't get opportunity just because they don't think they can play there. Oh, there's too many guys to compete with, and I'm not going to get a shot. Because they're deep. They got a ton of talent. I wouldn't be surprised if you see 5 or 6 offensive linemen go in the transfer portal in the spring and or summer just because they don't think they're going to be able to compete with the guys they're bringing in. Which, back in the day, people would look at that, right, Bailey, and go, oh, well, Coach Prime doesn't have control of his program, and it's just a revolving door. But now that everyone does that, and that's the way football works now, I look at it and go, okay, what's the roster turnover in the NFL? Roster turnover in the NFL is what? 35% every year? You got new players? So roster turnover in college football with no contracts is going to be 50% or not more every year. and you're going to try and hold on to your glue guys. So Seaton's a glue guy, Shador's a glue guy, Shiloh's a glue guy, Hunter's a glue guy, Jimmy Horn's a glue guy. You know, Wester was drywall. He was only here for a year. Shepard was drywall. He was only here for a year. You know what I'm saying? Like Tyler Brown's a glue guy. Cash Kleeman could be a glue guy. This kid from Memphis, he's drywall. You bring him in for a year or two. You know what I'm saying? So Coach Prime has done a really, really good job of being able to separate the two. You know, like he's still going after elite players in high school that he wants to come in and compete and play early, but he's also attacking the mercenaryville with all the mercs out there, and he's a merc magnet. I swear to God, Coach Prime is the mercenary magnet of college football, and it's awesome because if I was in the position where I had an opportunity to be like, okay, I can go to the transfer portal, I'm a grad transfer. I played 3 or 4 years somewhere and played really well. Now I've earned the opportunity to go because I wouldn't transfer until I graduated. That's just me in this time and era. And I get up and my 3 choices are, you know, like let's say CU, UCLA, and Clemson. Dog.
Yeah.
You go play for Coach Prime, it's fucking on. So, you know, I think that there's a lot of people that are angry that Colorado was like, there's a lot of folks that thought that this program would never be what it is now again. And they're mad because Arkansas could have hired Coach Prime and Auburn could have hired him. Nebraska could have hired him. Everybody was scared shitless. Rick George is the only one that saw the potential. Don't be mad because we see it and y'all don't.
Exactly. And Matt, I think like you mentioned in the offensive line, I think there's going to be a lot of competition here. You mentioned we've talked about Manti Money on the offensive line transfers, Zy Chrysler, along with several others. It's going to be really interesting as we get toward, see the spring game. I hope you wear the cowboy hats at the spring game. And
I'm wearing this to the spring game. You know this.
Yeah. And as we get closer to fall here,
Did you see? Not to cut you off, but did you see everybody in the chat? You guys will remember Talon Chandler, right? So Talon was committed to CU forever, for like 2 years, or at least a year. And he was in my program and come out and work out. And then he panicked when they had a bad game, and he dropped CU and committed to Missouri, and that was his dream school. Guess where he's at?
Oh, what?
The transfer portal.
Oh yeah, we got
4 years eligibility. He played in one game in Missouri. Pretty much. So when you see young guys like that going to the portal, there's 3 different kinds of portals. I was tampered with and I was drug into the portal. Mm-hmm. I'm a grad transfer and I've earned the right to go to the portal, or I just got cut. He just got cut.
I see. And yeah, you've seen several players across Missouri's defense in the portal here. I believe one of them, maybe when you mentioned taking a visit to CU next week.